Hi, I'm Luke Peters, pre-sales consultant for the Westcon Group New Zealand. We're here today to discuss a very exciting new product from VMware called Mirage. Mirage is VMware's hottest acquisition from 2012, filling in a vital gap within VMware's end-user computing portfolio, extending the centralized single image management we see in View, but now for fat client desktop and laptops. Now the main fundamental difference between View and Mirage is that with View, compute resource is done from the data center, and this is true for any VDI infrastructure. With Mirage, the local desktop is the compute resource, giving the user a rich and powerful experience on and off the network. Because Mirage does not require the user to be connected to the data center to work, locally installed applications and data mean a true, lag-free mobile worker experience. Now, let's take a look at what Mirage has to offer. With centralized single image management, you have a single image that forms the base of all desktops in the environment, and this can include the operating system, patches, updates, and core applications. Update once, deploy to many. Unlike VDI solutions where compute resource is at the data center, with Mirage, the endpoint is the compute resource, so this gives the user a much more powerful, lag-free working experience. With full endpoint backup, an identical copy of the endpoint is regularly backed up and synchronized to the data center. Endpoint disaster recovery. Because you have a full backup at the data center, if the desktop was broken or stolen, you can quickly deploy a saved image from the data center to a new desktop or a virtual machine, allowing the user to continue working with minimal downtime on an identical image. Driver libraries. The image you deploy can run on multiple different vendor hardware. The image is the same, the drivers are simply swapped out to match the endpoint. Endpoint compliance. Because the administrator creates an SOE, and that's a standard operating environment that's deployed from a core image, all desktops will have the same operating system, patches, and applications. Administrators can observe which machines are in compliance and which ones are not. The ones that are out of compliance can be quickly rectified with just a few clicks. Hardware refreshes can be extremely costly both in time and labour costs. With Mirage, because you already have the image backed up, and with the ability to swap out drivers on the fly, hardware migrations become an extremely simple, fast, and efficient process, reducing costs associated with migrations. Windows XP to Windows 7 migration. With XP extended support ending in 2014, many businesses are planning migrations to Windows 7, but finding out costs are extremely high, taking many hundreds of hours. With Mirage, user downtime can be as little as 20 minutes, resulting with your corporate Windows 7 image and retaining all user data and settings from the XP machine. Image and patch management. It's not only Windows updates that you need to patch, but Adobe and Java updates are just as critical, if not more, to protect your corporate assets. Standard users cannot perform this action, but with Mirage, the administrator does it for them. Optimized for the WAN. When endpoint synchronization occurs, the endpoint and the image held at the data center are first compared, the differences are then compressed and transmitted, significantly reducing WAN traffic. In addition, with branch reflector, you can send a core image once to a designated endpoint at a remote site, and then this is pushed out over the LAN to all the other endpoints, reducing further WAN traffic. And some additional benefits of Mirage. Self-service file and directory level restore for end users. Users can restore deleted files, even if deleted from the recycle bin, without contacting IT to do so and do it for them. File Portal. With File Portal, because an image of the desktop is stored at the data center, users can access their locally stored files in a read-only format from a web browser, even when they are away from the desktop. Mirage has minimal capex costs because the compute resource is the existing endpoints. New hardware at the data center, like servers, networking, and high-performance storage, are not required. With built-in deduplication and a low IOP requirement, only low-cost storage is needed, lowering the overall total cost of ownership. Now that we've looked at the features of Mirage, let's take a look at the actual interface itself. As you can see on the left hand side, you've got your Common Wizards tab, your dashboards, task monitoring, inventory, image composer, driver library, reports, logs, users and roles, and system configuration. Now the Common Wizards is where you do your day-to-day tasks that an IT administrator might perform. So you've got your centralized endpoints, capture layer, disaster recovery, hardware migration, assign layer, Windows 7 migration, and base layer provisioning. If you go to your dashboard, and you can see some general information on the actual Mirage environment. So under servers, we've got one server and it's currently up, which is a good thing. You can of course have multiple Mirage servers for a HA cluster or for capacity purposes. Each Mirage server can have up to 1500 endpoints. And then you've got your capacity status, which is where your licensing sits. You've then got your update progress, data protection, core image compliance, and then under efficiency benchmarks you've got your bandwidth utilization and compression, and this is between your endpoints and your actual Mirage server. Now if we go to a typical Windows 7 desktop, the end user is only going to see the actual client, which is in the right hand corner. And if you go to show status, you can see some general information. So you've got the version number, the server address, which is the actual Mirage server, the connection status, the last upload time, the current base layer, and the current action. Now your current base layer is effectively your SOE image, and its version number is 1.3. If you were to do some updates to the SOE image, for instance some Windows updates, you would do that, create a snapshot, and then deploy that to all your desktops, and that would be version 1.4. Now if we go to the file portal, once you've logged in with your Active Directory credentials, you'll come up with a list of desktops that you're entitled to access. Go through to the next section, and there's several directories. I'm going to go to the desktop, and then I've got some files on my desktop, and as you can see I've got a PDF file, a spreadsheet, a Word document, and an MSI file. Now these are all only read-only files, so you're not going to be able to modify any of them, but you can certainly read them. And here's the PDF file, and it's fully readable. And then to come back out, just go back and log out.
As we can see, Mirage is a fantastic, wide-reaching product with low capex costs, reducing your OPEX costs, and lowering the total cost of ownership. Administrators can fully manage corporate and enterprise desktop fleets across a single or multiple sites, with end users enjoying the full power and personalisation that the desktop brings. For further information, please contact us here at the Westcon Group New Zealand. Thanks for watching. This is a Westcon Tech Bite.